Should you listen to your voices? The short answer is no, probably not. However, for the long answer, let me tell you my story. The voices first came into my head whenever I was in Vietnam. The voices that I was hearing were my friend group from Ireland. I was in a dorm at the time, in a hostel in Vietnam, and I could hear my friends so clearly that it sounded like they were outside the door. They shouted through the door, "Yo Leo, we came the whole way to Vietnam to surprise you. Come outside." And at the time I was lying naked in my bed, and so I did not want to go outside. And then my thoughts started spiraling, thinking, why the fuck can I hear them and no one else can hear them? And why wouldn't they just come through the door? A couple of days later, I was in an apartment and the voices came back. This time, they pointed out my insecurities that I was thinking about in my head, and they mocked me for it. An English commentator then came in and he explained the situation. Basically, he told me that I was part of a game show. My friends from back home were able to communicate to me through PlayStations and Xbox. They stuck a mind-reading device inside of my ear, and that was how they were able to listen to my thoughts and to communicate to me. My friends told me that I was a part of this game to make me better. So, should I have listened to the voices? Probably not, but I played along with it anyway, and I fucking hated it. As the voices were able to read my mind, hear all my thoughts, they told me that the world could also hear my thoughts because it was being publicized on social media and PlayStation and Xbox. Because the whole world could hear my thoughts, I immediately started to think of what I wouldn't want the whole world to hear. And of course, if I told you not to think of a red tractor, the first thing you're going to do is think of a red tractor. So by trying to not think of what I would want the world to hear, it came up. And my friend group, they criticized me and made fun of my darkest, deepest secrets. And all the problems that I was running away from, they came flying towards me, and I had to face all of my fears and all of my problems and all of my trauma. Everything that I had been running away from. In a way, this was actually a really good thing, because I was running away from these problems, and so my mental health was getting worse, and the psychosis, it forced me to look at the problems, to address them, to find a solution to them, and to learn how to forgive myself and to heal myself. Following this, I then wrote down all of my problems. I then wrote down a solution to all of these problems. And then from the problem and the solution, I found a lesson to be learnt, so that I would not make the same mistake again. The voices then told me that, Leo, you're the Messiah, because I had figured out a lesson to my problems. At the start, I told the voices, no, I'm not the Messiah, I'm just Leo. At this point, I wasn't a leprechaun. But the more they said it to me, the more I started to believe it. I believe if anyone says something to you enough times, you will start to believe it. The voices told me that these lessons that I had discovered were like the new commandments, and they told me that I had to go and spread this word of how other people can find out their own commandments, because the Old Testament's commandments, written thousands of years ago, they're outdated. They're not relevant to today's society. They told me that these new lessons that other people can learn, these lessons can become people's values. it can become their principles, and it can become a guiding star for people to follow during rough times. So I fully planned out. I was gonna go traveling the world, and me and my friend were gonna go to India, and we're gonna meet the Dalai Lama, and we're gonna put these lessons that other people can learn under the philosophy of omonism, which is basically where you believe there's wisdom in all religions. Sounds pretty reasonable, right? There's a video I did here which goes more into detail on the problems and solutions and lessons. Back to the question. Should I have believed the voices that I was the Messiah? Absolutely not. No fucking way. What I did learn though is that I need to love myself as much as a Messiah. Say for example, Jesus was walking down the street there, with his sandals and his hairy toes, and he was just walking about acting the G, turning water into wine and healing people's sickness. If I seen Jesus down the street there, I would love him. And so I need to love myself as much as I would love Jesus over there, because I'm just as important. Every single one of you is just as important as the other. I am better than no one, and no one is better than you. Here's another video on that. Back to the voices, I got some additional members. These were some family members and the Irish rap group Kneecap. They both supported me and they backed me up whenever my group of friends would slabber at me. Slabbering meaning to criticise or to be mean to someone. Some of my friend groups, they told me that paramilitaries being gangsters, they told me that these people were coming to kill me and to burn my house down because of what they could hear inside of my head. Then, a part of that friend group, they told me that I was being protected and that because someone was coming to kill me and to burn my house down, they were coming to my house first so that they could protect me. And so they told me to pack my bag, and I got as far as the sock drawer before I realised they were talking shit. So, should I have believed the voices there? No, I should not have believed the voices. There was no one coming to kill me, and there was no one coming to burn my house down. What I did learn though is to not be gullible, to not believe everything that someone is saying, even if that someone is someone close to you. And so, for all of these examples of when the voices were speaking to me, should I have believed them? No. But whenever you look deep inside, well in my case anyway, when I looked deep inside what the voices were telling me, it allowed me to find meaning into it. And by finding meaning in what the voices were saying, it's made me into a better person. Now this is the case for me, it might not be the case for you, but this leads on to the question for you leprechauns. So please tell me, do you find it beneficial listening to your voices? If you do or if you don't, please comment, let me know, and I'll get back to you. For me, there came a time where listening to the voices became too much, and I had to get them to stop. I managed to get the voices to stop by changing into healthy habits, such as by meditating daily, exercising daily, and reading and writing, among many other things, but they're the main four. So there you go, leprechauns. Thank you very much for listening. God bless.